Joining us now is a Gold Star wife, widow of Army Major Brent Taylor, mother of 7, Jennie Taylor. Hands are full, Jennie, with 7. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on this Memorial Day. I know this means not only a lot to us here at the network, but really our viewers as well as they watch. I wanted to start, Jennie, if you could talk about your husband, Brent, how you're honoring your husband's sacrifice. Tell the viewers about Brent.
Oh, thank you so much for having me and letting me talk about him. He served in our Utah National Guard for 15 years. He did 4 combat deployments, 2 to Iraq, 2 to Afghanistan. We do have 7 children. They right now range in age from 4 up to 16. And the man loved serving his country. His final deployment, he was attached to a Ranger unit and absolutely loved being with them. He served as an advisor to the special forces in Afghanistan, trying to help them be able to take over their own security, their own safety, and their own combat operations. It was a dream of his from young childhood to serve in the uniform of this country, and a dream he was able to fulfill till his very last day.
And you talk about this such a difficult time to even move on as he has made that ultimate sacrifice for our country. We are forever indebted in what he has done. But then you have 7 children. I imagine that makes it a lot more difficult. How do you explain to your 7 children the message about their father and moving forward? How do you describe their father to them?
You know, I think that's the biggest piece is there's a difference between moving on and moving forward. And I think Memorial Day really encompasses what being a Gold Star family is all about. It's learning to live in the and. My kids and I are devastated that their father is not here, and we're determined to live happy lives. We are heartbroken, and we are proud of him and the countless others like him who've been willing to serve and sacrifice for us. And even though we lost a life full of dreams the day he was killed, he died so that we could still live our dreams. So my kids and I, we talk about and we share memories. The older kids have a lot of their own memories. The younger kids will only ever know about him from what other people share. We have photos, we have videos from his phone and from mine. But the biggest thing is we talk about him, we keep him a part of our family. I let the kids hear from him, his own words, his own journals, his letters. He made it very clear in his 39 years how he felt about serving his God, his family, and his country. So I don't have to try to convince my children what I think their dad thought. I can use his own words, his own writings, and video clips and photos that show the joy he found in service to our country.
And if I could take this one interview with you, this encompasses Memorial Day. This is what it's about, folks. Honoring those that have paid that price. Absolutely. And the Gold Star families as well. That's something each Memorial Day I want to be sure to always point out, just the difficulty that they face today. One of those joining us today. You also, by the way, went on to create these 2 scholarships in your husband's name, I believe, at the University of Utah and Brigham Young University as well. Is that true? Talk to me about that and how some of the recipients have been helped out by these scholarships.
Yeah, it's been incredible. So my husband died at age 39, and we were already planning his 40th birthday party, which should have happened right after he came home. We held the birthday party anyway. We turned it into a scholarship fundraiser at his 2 alma maters, Brigham Young University and the University of Utah. We raised $40,000 for his 40th birthday. And I'm proud to tell you we've now raised over $200,000. We've expanded to Weber State University, which is here in Ogden, Utah, where Brent served as mayor. Also to his high school in Chandler, Arizona, and Weber High School, again in the community where he served as mayor. So our goal is to let his legacy of service-oriented leadership carry on in this rising generation. It crushes me to think that his determination to serve our country with love and compassion and service died the day he did. We are simply passing the torch to the next generation. Wonderful young people, young men and women, some who are in the military themselves, some who are not, but each of them blazing their own trail forward, looking for ways to lead and to carry on a legacy of service.
Yeah, amazing story. I appreciate the bravery that you showed today to come on the show to talk about that. That is the widow of Army Major Brent Taylor, who paid the ultimate sacrifice again. And Jennie, it's wonderful to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's Jennie Taylor.
Always great to be with you. Thanks so much, Sean.